Welcome back to another live stream here on the twitch.tv / the Xisuma playing the Hermitcraft. Season of the 9. Oh yeah, we got bananas in chat from Fortunate Dorado and 4Gil. I'm sure lots of peeps are just tuning in at the moment. Tuning in. And we have a plan for today's stream which starts off with something rather simple and innocent, just heading down to the bottom of the world and gathering some obsidian. Mayskull, good to see you in chat, my dude. Thank you for helping out earlier today. Hermitcraft had a little bit of it. Well, I say it crashed. It didn't crash. It what happened? The node reset or something? Something happened over at the server place. Apparently, someone there plugged in a keyboard to our server. Right. So from here, I'm pretty sure it's that direction where there's lava. Oh. And lava equals obsidian. Oh gosh. Got to be careful where you put it as well. Otherwise it might turn into obsidian, you have no water left. Ooh, this means I've got regular deep slate because this is a silk touch pick. So welcome to all the peeps tuning in, getting lots of hellos in chat. Hey X, quick question, what artists have you been listening to lately, says Mel51919. Ah, well you, my friend, can go to the Google and type in Xisuma music blog and you'll find out exactly what I've been listening to recently, because I've been writing about it. Writing music blogs I find very, very therapeutic. Mining it with efficiency 4. Last time I did this, I think it was rather slow. Sir Lord of Knee says, how are you, X? How am I? Yeah, I cannot lie, I've been pretty awful. Sounds weird to say. But streaming is like a happy place for me, always. Always love doing a stream and hanging out with all y'all, but can't lie, I ain't been too good lately. You know, oh, I don't know what it is. Part of it is me and the way I think frame the value of my time around productivity. And the other part of it is what's going on in the world right now. And I'll tell you, yesterday I hit such a low. Hadn't hit a low like that in a while. Just too much reading online, and it just kind of... You got to pay attention to your own thoughts. You got to pay attention to what's going on in your head. Like today, I've just, you know, resisted the urge to read what's going on, and just kind of taking the day one step at a time. And you know, the day before I wasn't really doing that, and just kind of sunk into a hole in my head that I couldn't get out of. It was really quite rough. I was glad I didn't have to stream, because I don't think that would have cheered me up. I would have just been hiding how I felt. Although, not that I really hide how I feel, I guess. I mean, we're talking about it right now, right? But I wouldn't have been in the right place to stream. So yeah, just, you know, had a rough day or whatever, right? And ain't gonna moan about it. There's people having a far worse time. Just, it's just how it is when you feel that way. It just feels like everything all of a sudden, right? Kind of hard to snap out of and put into perspective. Why are you mining obsidian, says Quinn4. I want to get an ender chest together this stream. In fact, several of them, so we'll mine a whole bunch of obsidian. Is it just me, or did everyone get kicked out of Spotify? I don't know. I've been using Spotify today. I watched that podcast with Mr. Beast. That guy's wonderful. I really do think it's easy to be on the outside and look at what he does and give him a bad rap. But then if you hear about who he is, why he does what he does, he's a great guy. Discord is down right now, says Detested Globe. Ah, Yeah, I was having trouble using Discord. That explains that. Right, and Spotify is out as well. I'm wondering, like, in the back of my mind, is this anything to do with, like, cyber warfare? Google Cloud is down. Ugh. Twitch isn't down, apparently. Anyway, we've got some noises in the ear rolling in here. Want to say thanks to Infinite Bliss and Paul Defoe for becoming Patreons. Appreciate it. We've got Krebstar here for 15 months. Hedgehog403 is here for 12. Admirari is here for free. And Licky Sticky Icky is here for 29. Saying one thing at a time with an open mind. Yeah, that's what it's got to be. I feel like Hermitcraft is like putting a bit of pressure on me mentally as well. Just... it's so easy to get into this mindset of like... produce, like, you know, what am I doing? And just not thinking about what am I going to enjoy doing. And so yesterday, it in my mind, it's not like none of this is rational. It's all just it compounds, it adds up. So yesterday, I'm not feeling so great, and then I start feeling incorrectly about the things that I'm doing with my time, if that makes sense. I don't know. It's just a strange thing to navigate right now. Strange thing to navigate. Lizzie Best, thank you for 47 months. Appreciate ya. Jack the Oven, thank you for the Prime. Free Kill TM, thank you for 9 months. Slowpoke's here with the Prime. And Nikunai Dragon is gifting some of those subs. To Drum Mum 1 and Party Foul Games. If you heard your name being read out loud, be sure to say thanks in the chat. We always appreciate the gifting of the subs. Ooh. Easy there. I'll tell you what, it makes much more sense to leave the water out and mine the obsidian first, doesn't it? It always makes sense to do it that way around. Are you going to make an LA Doom Guy skin? Probably not, but I don't know. Depends how hyped I am or how I feel at the time. I don't really know right now. I do like the alternate skins, but it was just kind of fun to get back to Doom Guy. You know? Okay, I need to read some noises. Biggest, yeah! Thank you for the Prime. Captain Taco Face, thank you for 4 months. Also, Lafrotto's here with the Prime as well. And we got gifted subs from Free Kill TM. 10 gifted subs to Scrubgy, Delvarak, Purple Dog, HashX, Armored Monkey, Mafu, Random Viewer, Ping the Net, Ryan RDB Photo, and Winspillo Poe. If you heard your name being read out loud, be sure to say thanks in chat. Also, Silver Shadow, say thanks in chat too. Zora Spinamana, who's gifted you a sub. Thank you so much, Zora. We've got Lycan S here with a converting a Prime Gaming sub. That is one of those new messages that comes through. Also, Lizzie Best here with the cheers and bits saying, I get what you mean. It's rough when some are losing. Yeah, yeah, I mean, I'm reminded of when the pandemic began, and I've been feeling like when the pandemic began. You know, like, life hasn't really gotten back to normal for me. I've been realizing. I've been going out a bit here and there, but I haven't been seeing my friends as much. Haven't been going to gigs. Other things as well that have just changed, and the last 2 years, like, a lot of what I look forward to, secondary to seeing family and friends, which is always the thing I look most forward to, is like watching a movie and having a curry, which like sounds like, oh, you and your curries or whatever, but like it's a coping mechanism. And like right now I've scheduled myself another one tomorrow and Friday and probably Sunday. Like I've just felt really kind of like hit by what's going on in the world, and then I think it's just kind of adding up with how like things aren't quite like normal, and I don't know. Yeah, I can't. I need, like, I appreciate y'all coming here. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna have a good time and all of that. But like me being able to just vent, just for the, it doesn't matter what I say. Just being able to vent a little bit, it really helps. So you know, thanks for listening. Like, I don't know how to quantify all of this. I feel like the best way to quantify it is just like, I know what the solution is. The solution is just like some more normality, and it's just not available. And so, you know, how am I gonna deal with this? I'm just gonna keep having my little days where I like zonk out. It's you know, yeah, I was thinking about it, like food as a coping mechanism is very interesting because like you need it, like food is like you need it to survive. It's really pleasurable. You know, like it's really pleasurable. You need it to survive. It makes you feel good when you eat. You feel energized. Taste is interesting, and so like it makes a lot of sense that it could become a coping mechanism, or that people develop issues with food and whatnot because, you know, it's kind of just a way to bypass whatever you're feeling and just give you some form of feel good, I guess, which is it's kind of weird. Like, and just all you have to do is be aware of that. Just be aware of it. I'm aware of it. Like, I'm aware of how, like, my behavior and my mood dictating the choices that I make around this stuff. I'm aware of it. I'm on top of it. I'm not gonna, you know, go out of control with it or anything, but being aware is really important. We need coping mechanisms sometimes, says Daisy Crazy. Yeah, we need them. We need them. I mean, maybe streaming is a coping mechanism for me, right? That's some good tea right there. Although I must say, streaming's always felt very positive, so I don't see it as in any way potentially being a not so good thing. Bait and Daniil, thank you for gifting subs to Riggs Diggs, Hemping Way, Danny A, Jolly Jolly, Trainer, Bonsai Stamps, Psychopated Psyche, Sabink, Existing Infinity, Sunflower Dragon, Tiny Rice Cakes, Perrock Mum, Kareen's, Midnight Toil. Y'all have been gifted subs. If you're hearing your name being read out loud, be sure to say thanks in the chat. There's more. There's more. DeChasing, Secondhand Candy. Ugh. Not Quite Polar, Ice Dragon D, L'Oreal the Tim, and Darty Ping. Thank you ever so much, as always, Bait and Daniil, for the gifting of the subs. Truly appreciated. AJ Main, thank you for the cheers and biddies. Another JT, thank you for 57 months. And Hunty, thank you for using the Prime on me. Greatly appreciated. Lightly Lucid says, I've been craving tea for like 2 hours, but I can't leave my desk because of work. They should let you have a cup of tea. Stimulate you. Get your belly warm. You'd be more alert. I'm just making excuses for you. I mean, I don't have to work in an environment where with a boss where someone's over my shoulder telling me what I can and can't do like that. But in my mind, it's like things like you know, having a hot cup of tea make you feel good, listening to some music. These feel like things that you should do while you're doing your work. You know, keep you kind of stimulated and feeling good. Yeah, speaking of like coping mechanisms and stuff, played a bit of guitar last night. That helped pick up my mood. Music's the thing. Music's always the thing for me. It's just really weird how my brain, like, it switches into this place where it's like hard to get out of. And it, like yesterday, it was like I feel it. I feel the cycle. Still the cycle of feeling and thought, and I know I could do these other things, and it just like takes me all day to get around to like pick up the guitar. And then like, what is that? Why do you slow down so much sometimes, especially when you know, I guess, what fixes you? It's weird. JJB Martin, thank you for 7 months. Bell Selly 85, thank you for 2, and E Water Walker, thank you for subscribing. We also got Coaster County here for 2 months, or Country even. Love the content, keep up the good work. Thank you, my dude, greatly appreciated. Hmm. King Arj says, where'd Doom Guy come from? Was it a previous game or just a thing that happened? Comes from the game Doom. Executive dysfunction, says Surefire. I don't even know how to pack apart that term. Pick apart, maybe. It's just a weird thing. Like when I was younger and I had problems with feeling down or depression, I didn't have like any tools. I just sort of was in it, like as if it were me, and that was the only thing I could be. But now that I have like tools to look at it differently, it's amazing how it still has such like a strong grasp on you sometimes. Ugh! Gosh, that scared me. How much have we collected so far? I feel like that's probably more than enough for now. Yeah, that's probably pretty decent, right? Let's get 2 stacks. Let's get 2 stacks. That's what we'll go for, 2 stacks. And then we'll go make a whole bunch. Oh, there's a good point. Ender pearls are going to limit how many ender chests I can make. And I don't have a lot of ender pearls, so I'm probably pretty good. I want to keep moving some of these materials up top every time I travel between the 2 places. So I'm going to fill up the inventory. How will the update after 1.19 be called? Just 1.20? Yeah. I remember when like 1.9 was coming around, because I do my update videos, there were just so many comments about, oh, the next one's 2.0. And I would say in the video, you know, like, no, it's not going to be 2.0, it'll be 1.10. I didn't think I'd see that again for 1.19. I mean, I think, yeah. Akazu says 1.2 would suffice, would it not? You might get confused with the actual 1.2 update. Everybody hates Jack, thank you for your Prime subscription, appreciate it. Appreciate it ever so much. It's going to be 2.0 after 1.99, says Neo Hurricane. I think it's part of the contract that Notch signed with Microsoft that there isn't going to be a 2.0 ever. Pretty sure that was part of the deal. He didn't want a sequel. I'm sure they'll find a way around that eventually. I imagine it'll be a platform thing. It'll be like Minecraft VR or something in the future. Will sort of take over. That's interesting. Oh, there you go. I knew I had more than one, but I didn't expect. I thought they would be in a chest, in that chest specifically. There you go. We got 3. I mean, that means I can make 6 Eye of Enders, right? Unless it's 1 for 1. Dang. Which it might be. Alakyle, thank you ever so much for 2 months. Hero699 YT Live, thank you for subscribing. And Shypig, thank you for using the Prime on me. Appreciate it. Isn't 1.100 basically the same as 1.10, says Neo Hurricane? It's not, in the same way that 1.1 isn't the same as 1.10, right? They're different updates. Like, in the same that 1 isn't 10 and 100 isn't 10. Like, you can't think of the decimal as it being a... Like, 1.19 isn't 1 and a 19th Minecraft. It's the 19th iteration. You got to think of it like it's a whole number, even though there's a decimal in front of it. So we go to the Nether, we kill some blazes. I would be smart to bring blocks with me just to block whatever's in front of me. I'm actually going to hold on to that cobble for now. If I do, you know, I've got enough here for a cauldron if I get into some trouble. Ches Charlie says 1.0001. Well, there was no 0 in front of it to begin with, so therefore it's not going to work that way. Yeah, so we'll take a couple of buckets of water and a cauldron with us just in case. You never know. I don't think I actually have fire protection anymore. Yeah, that would have been nice to have, but then again, I don't plan on being in the Nether for too long, so we can make a crafting bench, but we'll bring one with us. I thought I would have one here. You know what? I'll just make one. And that's pretty much it. I think that's pretty much all we need to consider. LX Valley Cake, thank you for the prime. Thank you ever so much. By the way, I've got a new emote, a new video emote to use today. And it involves something that we do on the stream and that we encourage others to do. Hey, look, some of the other hermits are moving the portals to Y80. That's really good to see. Communication in a large group isn't always as straightforward as you'd like. One of the things we wanted to do was to get the nether hub at the right height for Tango, which is 80. So good to see that happening. Got a bit of a network evolving already. Now the fortress is somewhere off in this direction, so that's the way I'm going to go. Mr. Pig, get off this wall. Say thanks in chat, says Lil Spagbolt. If you hear me saying that, it's because... Oh, there's another one over there as well. Wait, that's the Forces one, isn't it? It's because people gift subs, and so I encourage them to say thanks if you get a gifted sub. Hit that follow button, peeps, says Zach L. Another thing that I say. Oh, now I realise what y'all are doing, because I'm talking about what emote is it. Hydrate, says ManuCL98. Oh, could it be Hydrate? I think it could. Check this out. Isn't that amazing? Oh, Pox Aurelius is here for 72 months. You know what that means? Another video animation. 6-year mark, looking forward to the new season. Indeed. Indeed. I love the bicep pump at the end. Cracks me up. Okay, down we go. Tea emote would be awesome, says Sky Powder. There is a tea emote as it goes. Let me just have a little sip on my tea. Oh, it's gone a bit cold. Oh, I'm not going to drink any more of that. Yuck. No. Not very good. Right, you can see there's some sissy bars here already. Formless Duck, thank you for 2 months. Appreciate it. Get an electric cup warmer, says Doctor Strange. Every time that's suggested, I read the reviews on these USB powered ones, and it was always like, basically saying they're not very good. They're just novelty. But I don't know. Like, if I just focus on time drinking the tea, that to me just seems like an economic way to do it. Hey, hey, hey! Don't be flying away. Why is there a gap there? Okay, Wither Skeleton can come first. Right, no skull. I was supposed to repair this shield. Two hits and you're out. Ugh. One blaze rod. I think I had one back at my base. So I could have made 2 ender chests already. With having so little ender pearls, I can pretty much just make this a very short trip. And going as far as the place where they spawn in the Nether, that biome, I think is a bit much. Because it's a very small biome. Probably not a lot of likelihood of farming them there. But it's something to be considered. Uh-huh. Get rid of that. Mr. Nurse Ratchet, thank you ever so much for 6 months. A9ter, thank you for 13. Appreciate it, my dude. What are with these little, like, grooves that have been cut out every so often? Okay, got a hoglin. I don't even make swords anymore unless I got a skeleton farm. That's a good point, actually. I'm not intentionally using the axe as a main weapon, but I could. Cole Mick, thank you ever so much for 12 months of support, my dude. Appreciate it. So, anyways, if I've given myself a day off tomorrow, I wanna find something to watch, a movie or something. I watched Road to Perdition with Tom Hanks. Thought it was pretty decent. Pretty alright movie. Got that classic sort of 90s tone and vibe to it. Well, that wasn't made in the 90s. Just after. There's this quote in it, though, where it goes, "This is the life we lead, the life we choose. No, this is the life we choose, the life we lead. There is only one guarantee. None of us will see heaven." And I love it when I watch a movie and I'm like, oh, I know what that is, because I listen to some music where, like, a quote from a movie will be sampled. And when I heard it, I was like, that's the exact words. I know that. What is it from? Where have I heard that? I must know. And eventually I remembered, oh yeah, it's from Cataclysm's album. The one that they did in like 2004. And I think the movie was made in like 2002. So they obviously saw it and that like stuck in the head. So I went and listened to the first track on the record and it's got the clip at the beginning. But they like voice modify. So it sounds different. It sounds a bit more demonic. But it's a proper cool quote. I like it. Oh, I got the shield. Another blaze rod. Dang it, don't go over the edge. That's not helpful. Is there stuff and things over there? There's not like death and lava. We've got Smartin1018 here for 70 months. Thank you so much, my dude. Appreciate it. X3R0685, thank you for the prime. Spare Grissom for 44 months. How am I doing today? I'm doing alright. I woke up feeling much better this morning. And, yeah, I've been looking forward to this stream. Whoa, 3 at once, eh? Right, that gave me one more. I really don't need more than that right now. It always just feels like... I tell you what, actually, I had an idea to use a speed potion for something. Okay, it's getting a bit hairy now, isn't it? It's definitely getting a bit hairy. A bit hairy-larry. So a couple more here might not be a bad idea. There we go. You should watch Taking Lives on Netflix. Right, I do wanna write down a couple of suggestions. I do have a few movies on my list already, actually. I just tend to always like look something up before I watch. Right, 6. I think 6 is good for now. Let's go for go for one more round. Okay, I'm gonna get my butt kicked here if I'm not careful. Do you want movies or series? I like watching a movie. Like I really love movies. I think they're great. Watched a load. Always enjoy them. Okay, got to concentrate a bit here. Wow, there we go. 8. I think 8's good. 8's good for me. I'm gonna head back. You gotta watch Happy Gilmore. I've seen that a whole bunch of times back in the day. What genre says it's Whizzles? I really like dramas the most, I think. This Is Gonna Hurt is an incredible short series on iPlayer, says A9 to... Yeah, I watched it recently, actually. It's a good one. Once Upon a Time in America. I've seen that one. That's a 4-hour epic. I don't want to watch one that long. Whoops, it says I'm bad at watching movies. I don't have the concentration for them. That's not good. You want to work on, well, I mean, the way you describe it makes it sound like an attention span thing. You want to be able to sit down and enjoy a movie, you know, follow what's going on. Like, shortening attention spans is a real thing. You watch any anime, says Ramsey, any? I don't watch like anime for anime's sake, but I heard of this one called Death Note that sounded kind of interesting. And I looked it up on Crunchyroll, and it wasn't available. And what I tend to... I have a bit of a rule with stuff, which is like, watch things that are air quotes free. I mean, what I mean is like Netflix, Amazon Prime. Like, if there's something you could be watching on those, you've already paid for it, so like, enjoy it. Some of you are saying Death Note is on Netflix. Oh, I guess it might be in another country. I should use the old VPN, and then I might be able to watch it. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. It's not available in the UK, though, as I learned today. But I could buy it for 30 quid, and that's, I don't know, a bit steep. And my thing is, like, there's a lot of, like, movies and shows that are behind a paywall. And, like, when you're already paying for stuff, I think it's smart just to watch something that you've already paid for, I guess. Right, so after all of that obsidian grinding and blaze rod grinding, we're going to make only 2 ender chests. Can you believe it? One will be our backpack that we carry with us and pick up with a silk touch, and the other one will permanently reside somewhere around here. Probably best spot to put it is just in the ground. Like that. I was thinking about working on the interiors here a little bit, although there's not too much to do with the space other than give it a ceiling that hides that thing. You know? Peeps are saying it's on US Netflix. There you go. Hacksaw Ridge, that's one that I've seen and got on DVD. Maybe I'll have a flick through my DVDs and pick out an old an old favorite and rewatch something. Right, so now we put some materials away. Bent on World Destruction's here for 5 months, thanks. Like the username. Santa of Scarva's here for 25. Thank you so much, Santa, appreciate it. Okay, so with that little expedition taken care of, I obviously want to put some valuable things in here that we can take around with us. Which will... That one. Not that, really. Don't need that. Not really sure I needed those 2 things either, actually. What are the essentials, eh? Once you get your shulker boxes, it all becomes a little different what you put in here. Jewaholic, thank you ever so much for subscribing. Appreciate it, my dude. Appreciate it. I did want to go on a bit of a tree chopper around here. I'm starting to run a little low on wood. We could put some wood into there. Bucket of lava is... And bucket of water, really. Those 2 things. Oh, this is feeling more like it. Definitely feeling more like it now. I'll get some of this gold smelted up. Keep some redstone in there. And basically just some things you can create other things out of, right? Like some wood and cobble for tools. Green Book with Viggo Mortensen. Yeah, that's an amazing movie, that one. I really love that one. About the pianist, right? And they drive around together. It's a great movie. There's a free movie at 123 Movies, a bit clunky but can find some gems, says Lil Spagbowl. When you say free, that often means pirated, right? Which is what I'd rather just avoid in general. A little more food. Or should I say our supply of food. It's going to be bread to begin with. Chuck that in there. God, that feels so much more like it having an ender chest. Every time I play Hermitcraft, I think I have this idea of like, let's take the beginning easy. And then I start playing and then I'm like, oh yeah, this is painfully slow. Like, let's get some shulker boxes and whatnot. I like watching V for Vendetta every November the 5th, says Azar Kami. I watched that one not too long ago, actually. That was a rewatch. I thought I'd give that one a go. The past 2 years has just, like, probably I've watched a movie at least once a week. And before then, I was hardly watching them. Zordak, thank you ever so much for 8 months. Appreciate it. The Suicide Squad, says Umbrella Store. That is a movie I have not watched and looked incredibly unappealing to me. Like, I obviously can't say much about it if I ain't seen it, but some movies just I feel like they tell me by their poster, the tone of it, it's just like, this isn't for you. It's not my kind of thing. I'm not a huge fan of pure action films, personally, says Ikazu. Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a big fan of action for action, but like, when done right, action movies can be pretty darn good. We got Scar1982 here for 2 months saying, been watching your videos for the last couple of seasons, been lurking in streams on and off since the pandemic started. Really enjoyed the Stoneblock VODs on the second channel. Love the waffling and open discussion. Keep up the amazing work. Dude, thank you so much for resubscribing, and feel free to wage in on the conversation. You don't have to lurk. If you want to lurk, that's totally fine though. And I know what it's like. There's only so many messages I can pick out of chat, right? Like, it's a lot of them right now. Let's try and pick one out though. Not your cup of tea, AX, says Jack. Yep, not my cup of tea. I love your starter house, says Neon Taka. Yeah, I really like it too. I desperately need to work on the area just out here around it, which is why I wanted to chop down these trees and probably terraform this whole area. I just haven't had the chance to like get into the creativity of that. Again, like talking about like being depressed earlier in the stream, like that really hampers your ability to be creative. And ironically, well, actually maybe this makes total sense, but like when you're creative, I find that very like uplifting and freeing. It's like the opposite of depression. So yeah, like I got this, and I was so inspired by it. I was like, you know, when the season starts, I'll continue. Maybe I could have or should have worked on some more builds while we had the time off, but I kind of wanted to come from here in the world with it and do some more in it, and I haven't been able to. So we'll have to see where that goes. Forrest Gump is also a good movie though, says Umbrella Store. Forrest Gump is like an absolute classic. They're the sorts of movies I love. I'm not really into franchises. I like dramas, stories about characters and like where they go in life and stuff. Anything with Steve Buscemi, maybe Big Fish. Steve Buscemi's a legend. He's been in loads of great movies. Loads of great ones. Oh, Castaway. I was considering that might be a good one to watch. Another Tom Hanks. Who's an absolute legend in movies. Like, through the 90s into the noughties, just absolutely dominated. If you go look at like the top movies of all time on International Movie Database, like he's probably the one who's been in the most of them, right, in the top list. Do you enjoy documentaries? I do actually. I really enjoy documentaries. I watched one on Stalin on Curiosity Stream that was really fascinating. Also kind of depressing again, with like all the stuff going on in the world. It's a bit heavy. But I love learning about stuff, you know. So documentaries tick the box for me. Have you seen The Princess Bride? I don't think I've seen that one. Have you seen Hamilton? Yeah, I watched Hamilton. I got to give that one props. That was pretty amazing. Also, when I realised it was the guy from... oh, what's that group name? Dang, I haven't listened to them in a while. They've drifted out of my consciousness. Someone in chat's going to tell me what I'm talking about. Who's the guy in Hamilton from the band? The trio. With the crazy records and the rap into the alarm clock. Diggs is his name, I'm pretty sure. Something Diggs. Clipping! Panic at No, Panico Satanico. Panico Satanico. Yeah, that's it. Clipping. David Diggs. That's the one. Yeah. When I realised he was in it, I was like, oh, it's going to be good. But it was, sadly, it's the format of the musical rarely works for me. Rarely works. And I could really appreciate how much class Hamilton was. On many different levels. I can see why people love it. I'm glad I watched it, but I wouldn't watch it again. Musicals don't quite do it for me. Just the format, I don't know. Rubs me the wrong way. Yeah, I noticed there's a couple of like rogue crafting benches over here, and then some more. There was some more birchwood that I need to remove. Yeah, let's get rid of some of these pillars. Don't some people on Twitch get sponsored from Curiosity to watch on stream? Oh, that's a cool thing. I mean, I'd never thought of really like watching something with an audience before, but if someone paid me to do that, I'll give it a go. I have Curiosity Stream. That's where I watched the documentary on Stalin. Very, very just... Like, culture is fascinating, and a lot of culture is like, what you're exposed to is kind of harmless. Like, you know, we have these traditions, we eat this kind of food, we like this kind of music. And then watching that documentary, I'm just like, there is a weird, like, culture of lies here. Like, you could call it propaganda or whatever. And just the way, like, he has this power structure around him. They describe it at one point in the documentary as well. It's like everyone knows it's a lie, but everyone smiles and gets on with it. And oh, it's just so weird. I don't have the words to describe it really. Like what a weird part of history and time. X, do you enjoy romances? I like romance in a movie, just not like a rom-com or like a chick flick, if you like. I like them when it's a part of a proper story, a drama, you know. Then it's completely fine. Whoa! Dang! We got a new objective. We got to restock. I had this on my list to do. I did not expect that to be so popular. We'll get on that straight away. Let's go restock. I was planning on getting some sand as well. We can bring more back with us if we use our ender chest too. So I think we're done stocking that up for now. Tinman X A68, thank you for 3 months. M Villy Maverick, thank you for 4. Love the chill approach I'm taking to this season. Oh, I'm glad you like it. That's good to hear. Thanks for letting me know. Those things can go in there, and you know I don't really need much else, so we'll try and fill up the inventory. The inventory. We will need a boat. That being said, won't need the coal or the torches either. Do need a shovel. It's in here though. Boats. Boat. That was the one. There we go. Did I read all the noises? Black Steel, thank you ever so much for 9 months. And the Snail 78, thank you for 3 months. Greatly appreciated. Do you find it difficult to play vanilla after playing heavy modded, says Boss Jones. Actually, no. It's funny you say that, because I don't think the thought had even crossed my mind. I've always loved vanilla. I think I was thinking a little bit about like where are the limitations of like what I want to do in vanilla. If I could play a single player world and have my own rules, I would what I'd probably do is a series where there's less survival and more what can be done in survival. Like I was thinking it'd be really cool to play with that mod that the Psycraft people use, where you can put like a phantom player in the world. So, you know, often there's like projects where it's like, oh, what if we had like 2 people, someone's in the Nether, someone's in the Overworld, then you can make this sort of farm. Like, and you could do it with that mod. So I really like the idea of like having a series that's more about like, you could do this in survival, but like, we'll do it with the aid of some mods and like cut out a lot of the grind as well. I've done this game for so long that I like grinding, like right now on a stream. Grind is good, but you know, off camera it's like there's all this work to get to the end result, and I'd just like to play more directly to the end result, like playing in creative. That would be more fun. So yeah, we will get terracotta. Let's also just get some sand and sandstone up in this inventory. Oh, that changed. Something like pushing the limits of Minecraft on a smaller scale, says Darkness Bladders. Well, I wouldn't call it pushing the limits of Minecraft because I don't really know how to do that. My days of doing stuff technical were long, long ago. But yeah, maybe like, you know, I see like the Psycraft peeps doing, you know, tunnel bores with wither cages and stuff. And it's like really awesome and fascinating, but I know I just do not want to do that in survival because I'll mess up something, break, and like the risks and rewards are just insane. Like if you mess up a wither tunnel bore, you're just going to give yourself an immense headache. And there's a lot of stuff like that. Like there's a lot of like farms you could build and things you could do, but like they just have such a big time tag attached to them. And so cause like this is Hermitcraft and we like just play vanilla, you know, there's a few things here and there that are slightly different, but it's just a vanilla game. You know, I couldn't do that because part of a group, and you know, you do what everyone's on board with. If I had my own series, I'd probably do something like that. Puzzle Thrack, thank you for 46 months. Greatly appreciated. Hope you're enjoying the stream, and thank you for your support. X, if you like documentaries, you should check out How the Universe Works. Is it on Curiosity Stream? One of the things with that is there's a lot of subjects that I like with documentaries and stuff, but sometimes you turn them on, you're like, I know all of this already, you know? Like, I don't know what that's about, but I listen to like loads of stuff about science and whatnot, podcasts and YouTube videos. Transit Baker says, the internet is broken, but Twitch is working, so I'm here. How is everyone? Yeah, what is going on? Like, I've seen a few messages from people saying, like, that loads of services are down. My suspicion immediately is cyber warfare, but I don't know. And, this stuff's, like, so disheartening on many different levels. Like, war is just always the opposite of progress for everyone. That's what's so crazy about it. Like, I don't know what it is to be someone who wants war and wants, air quotes, victory and whatever that means, land or resources, but like, it just seems to me like war doesn't actually have victors. It just has victims. And everyone's a victim. And yeah, like nothing good is coming of anything that's going on right now and never will. I wish we could all see that, perhaps. Oh dang. I got way more sand just on autopilot here really. Okay, so first trip we'll fill up some sand and sandstone. Right, now I can still touch that and back into my inventory. It's sad, right? What if aliens came, we'd all be united, says Lil Spagbowl. Yeah. Yeah, so that's like an interesting mechanism of like tribalism. Is like there's this like human desire for like an us v them. Like you want to be part of a tribe, right? And not to like demonize that, just to step back and look at it. Like here in the UK, like it exists in different levels. Like in football culture. Because I like football, but I'm not really a fan of football culture. It's so common for, like, the us v them mentality to prevail. But then when England play in international, everyone comes together. And now we're, you know, we're all England together all of a sudden. And then you hear, like, with some of the troubles we have in this country with knife crime and whatnot, you hear about how, like, it revolves around postcodes and, like, you know, young people are getting into trouble with one another based on what postcode area you're from. So that's like, now you're taking like the town or the city where you might have had a team, and now you're breaking it down into like sub areas of that. So like, wherever there's like feud and conflict, there's like identity woven into it, and people like gravitate towards being a part of a tribe. So it's like, I'm part of this postcode, right? And so like division is this thing like wedging us apart based on these concepts, yet the concepts like exist at different levels. I wish people could see that more. Like, when you realise like you're happy to go to like a football match and gob off at someone because they support the other team, but like when England play, you'd have your arms around one another, right? And what you're saying about aliens coming along is the same thing. It's like, yeah, we've got all these countries and we've got our issues and problems between us, but then like, if the threat is then to all of us from something external, then we all have a reason to unite. Like, what if we saw that threat as ourselves? What if we saw like our own conflicts and wars as the threat, and that we need to unite to avoid it from happening? I don't know. There's healthy banter and then there's dumb hate, says I'm Xisuma. I'm just not a fan of banter in general. I've never enjoyed like ribbing and like larking about like that, and there's a lot of that at football. And like, if some of it's air quotes smart or not, like I don't really care for it. Basically, it always just seems a bit sad that like that's what's going on. They're just, you know, when you go to football matches or whatever, like wherever the away fans are, right, there's always a portion of away fans that are going to go nearer to the home fans, and there's always a portion of the home fans that go nearer to the away fans, and they spend most of the match looking at each other and shouting and stuff, and it's just so sad. I've seen like a lot of football violence over the years from going to football, and it just baffles me. Like, well, I say it baffles me. Like, obviously, it's not unknowable. There's reasons why people behave and do what they do. It's just, I wish people could see beyond all of that, like tribalism, and just see what we've managed to achieve, the good things we managed to achieve together as a society. Sandscrew King says, can we change the subject, please? Hey, if you've got a suggestion for something else to talk about, I'm all ears. Some people just need a fight, says Dusk5. Oh, well, I am not one of those people. I do not feel the need for a fight. A fight wouldn't be a good thing for me. X, have you watched Don't Look Up? It's on Netflix and it's the opposite of what you're saying. I've seen it. I'm not sure it's the opposite of what I'm saying. Don't Look Up is more like a critique, or I don't know, sort of like a philosophical look at our current ability to, I don't know, have discourse around certain subjects, how they're politicized, how there's misinformation. Like, I like the message of that movie. It's pretty good. I think on reflection, it's a bit of like a flawed execution, but like overall, it's really quite interesting. It gets you thinking. New Brandon Sanderson secret novels. I've never heard of Brandon Sanderson. It almost sounds like a made-up name. Brandon Sanderson. I don't know. Everybody Hates Jack says, we need more people like X in the world. People with smart, reasonable ideas who aren't afraid to voice them. Maybe. I don't know, I'm just a guy talking, right? Like, these are just thoughts. They're not action. I don't know what they would look like if they were action that could, you know, make actual changes. Right. So, we need some more chests around here. I didn't really plan on putting too much extra here, so I want to add a little something without it looking too convoluted, I guess. Like, that's a good way to add... So yeah, maybe what we do is we have like a half and half. Cool. I can pick that up and put that back down, so... Let's see how much sand we got so far. Right, so I could just nab another stack from inside, and then we could tell ourselves how many stacks of sandstone we need. As an American, Don't Look Up totally describes a lot of the apathy towards life that I see on a daily basis. I think it has a lot to do with the recent changes in technology... Oh, that one went off the top of the screen. Why do I always pick the message at the top? Doctor Strange says one positive side to this war is other countries might move away from petroleum sooner. If that turns out to be true or not, I would like heavily caveat saying something positive about war. I mean, like, there are these arguments about how like war fuels innovation. So like you can look at periods of war and then look after it and see how like, oh, it led to this, it led to that, it led to the creation of these good things. It's true, but like, is it worth the price? I don't know that it is. So I would hesitate to like really say something good comes out of war. You could argue that the last 50 years of peace, or however long it is, longer than that, 70 years of peace, maybe is because of World War II, but like, I mean, that has a huge death toll attached to it. It's just, whenever it comes to like weighing up lives and good and bad and stuff, it's always just an ugly equation. The space age spawned from the Cold War, says Big Man Sleuth. Maybe it did. Like, here's another thing. You never have A/B testing. You can't just have like a parallel point in time where you're like, okay, let's take post-World War and the Cold War doesn't happen and something different happens, and then let's see what emerges from it, right? Like, there are things happening today in space, like SpaceX and Amazon and, you know, billionaires going to space or whatnot, that isn't a result of a war. So it's possible for space-based things to happen that aren't specifically tied to that. Here's the thought. I wanted to come here and pick up more sandstone, but like, you got to tear the sand off of the top of it, and there's none of those, like, I haven't seen any of those big deposits of, like, I'm almost thinking just craft a bunch of sand into sandstone, because we don't have those big deposits. So I think that's what I'm going to do here. Brandon Sanderson is a really big modern fantasy author who just revolutionized the publishing industry. I thought they were a spy... Was it a spy novel or something? The person before said. Also, how they exactly revolutionized it? War speeds up innovations. Other thing too. Global warming is also a unifying threat that improves innovation. Yeah, global warming as something that we haven't been able to unify and rally around together is like disappointing. It's insane how some stuff just becomes so heavily politicized. Like, less... I wish our systems of governance had like less political incentives. Like, personally, I think like politicians should be paid minimum wage. And maybe there's like a bunch of stuff, because that's just an idea, you know, that I haven't thought deeply on. Maybe there's a bunch of reasons why that wouldn't work. But in my mind, it's like, if you work for the people who are on minimum wage, right? Like, you're going to represent them more if you're in the sort of same boat as them, essentially, is the thinking behind that, right? Like, if you're going to represent people and make decisions, be in the same boat as them first. Xepher80, thank you ever so much for the Prime. Appreciate it, my dude. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Maybe not minimum, but close to, says Chris. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't have to be minimum, but like close to. There's probably some reasons it's not a great idea, but I don't know, it just sounds like a better alternative to career politicians who have like incentives just to do decisions and whatnot in order to like keep their position of power. In practice, it works better to pay politicians absurd amounts. This means they do not need to stay in government for extended periods of time. In America, senators make 174k. Sounds reasonable. Like, come do this important job and you'll retire earlier. But is it actually going to play out that way? Because again, literally what I said a second ago about how that also fuels the idea of like, oh, if I get into this, it'll be a good career. It will be a comfortable living, a retirement plan, right? And then you're less motivated to represent people in the same boat as you, because now you're in a different boat. And yeah, like the incentives, they get changed by that. I'm not saying I've got all the answers. I've done a deep analysis on this and I got statistical data to back up what I'm saying, but feels like it in these spaces there never really is much of that. It's all just opinions and whatnot, and could easily be wrong, but yeah, you can pretty much take like any point and just argue it a different way. You could argue that if they aren't paid much, they're more likely to take bribes. That's a great point, yeah. But like, rather than a bribe, why not work in a way to like increase your wage and everyone's wages? That's a really fair point about the bribes thing. This is the thing though, like, if you're like a corrupt politician, that's also like a great defensive point for yourself. You know, no, we need this money, so we're not going to be corrupt. Like, it's all just bizarre, bizarro. I like the idea of computers, AI, electronic systems potentially being able to like solve human-oriented problems, right? I don't know how that would work politically, but I don't really have a clue. But you know, this quote, "Code is law," I really like the idea that you can write really clear and precise, intelligent code that can't be corrupted, but it does exactly what it's supposed to. Then someone's got to write that code, and they might be corrupt, eh? I just learned that the American Dentist Association, or whatever it's called, decided to count it as neglect if dental offices don't get x-rays every 2 years. You can't opt out or anything since it's illegal for the office not to have you to pay for x-rays to office. The American medical system is so messed up. Yeah, I hear lots of horror stories about it. Biffa says, get an AI to write the code? Question mark. Hey Biffa. Funny story about that. Google have created a system where you can give it, now I say text-based, but every time I hear it described, they say verbal. Like, you talk to it, you tell it, you describe what type of code it wants you want it to write, and it writes it. And apparently the results are like that of an average coder, right? Like, it doesn't do anything spectacular, but it basically, if you say like, make this appear on the screen, and when you click over here this thing happens, like, it'll code that for you. And that's insane. And that's like, that's just at the beginning. That's just a new thing, right? That can get better. You know, maybe they'll get the AI. They'll say, okay, code a better version of yourself. Also, Biffa, thanks for tuning in, and thanks for doing the city. I've watched some of your videos and other city skylines traffic videos before, but like, it half make like so much more sense when I'm watching a city where I understand like the layout and like where the traffic is moving from and why, and I learned loads of stuff. It's super cool. So thanks for fixing up the city. For anyone here who doesn't know, Biffa used to be a part of Hermitcraft, and now Biffa does City Skylines videos. And because we recently played it, after I played it, I thought, why don't I send this to Biffa and see what he does with the traffic. It was super cool. Learned a whole bunch of stuff. I really want to do a playthrough on that game at some point in the future, and I'm always torn between like do a traffic management, like city management style play of it, or maybe just focus purely on aesthetics. But I feel like a mix of both would always probably be best. It'd always be best. Right, let's make more sandstone. And that, I think, does that give us enough to fill up the chest? I think it does. So that's a full chest. Let's get a tiny bit more just in case. Yeah, anyways, City Skylines is a super cool game. And lately I've just been watching a few videos of people like building cities, and the game looks so good. Biffy, you wouldn't happen to know if there's going to be like a sequel or anything, because that game's sort of approaching 10 years old now, right? And the Unreal 5 engine would be an incredible candidate for an upgrade to that game, or like, the next iteration of it. And with all the stuff that the mods add to that as well, if they could like take the best of the modded things, all the asset placing and the customizability of it, like they could really take that to a whole nother level, that game. You watched Corrales' Cities then? Yeah, I watched a lot of Corrales' playthroughs back in the beginning of that game. Biffa says I hope so. I hope so too. Because I love a reason to like get back into it. Well, I played it again recently, but I mean, they bring out a whole new one. Dang, you got to pay attention. Right, that's going to do me, I think. So let's now go get some terracotta. No more instant mine for me. Going to be free on the Epic Store this Thursday coming up. Oh, is it? Dang. I heard someone said it was free on PlayStation. I was like, free? Why'd they make it free? I guess when it's that old, it might be just more valuable to get people playing it and then buying the upgrades. Epic brought Bandcamp, which kind of seemed like a bit of a... not sure I like that. I have two cities, one for traffic management and the other for mods and themes with the UK stuff. So different ways to play. I'll have to tune in and check out some more of the videos, Biffa, and see what you're doing with it. Cities was free during part of the Redacted as well. I don't know what that is. Deduck, thank you ever so much for 3 months. Looking forward to your projects this season X. Thank you, my dude. Appreciate it. Assume I have an SMP and I would like to know how do you keep the late game interesting. Once people have netherite, or they want to restart and leave the server, what can I tell them to stay? I don't know specifically, but like the late game is the bit that's interesting to me, right? So, like that's specifically what I'm more interested in. I'm trying to take the beginning of the game a little easier, but honestly, it's just like everything is friction. Everything slows you down. So, like getting better gear, getting wings to fly around, ender chests and shulker boxes to move things about. That's all just enabling to do the cool stuff in the game, right? 3 on Epic is great, but if you want an amazing Steam workshop, you need the game on Steam, really. Yeah, because then you're just getting the very vanilla of the game. Yeah. Caps Lock says, any theory on why they brought Bandcamp? Not really. It's a bit of a puzzling move. My thought maybe... I did have an idea at one point. It couldn't have been a very good thought because I can't really remember it. But maybe there's some sort of angle, like they need something related to music. So like maybe they need the infrastructure for streaming and distributing music. So they want to acquire a platform, but like I mean, Bandcamp's like pretty solid, but like the thing with Bandcamp is that it's an indie scene. It's about like it appeals to collectors and people that want to support artists directly, and you don't tend to get big names on there. It tends to be about smaller names. We probably sleep. We probably need to skip the night here. I don't have a bed still. I find that for a Minecraft server, it's the people that make it thrive. Just one person, say Green or X, would breathe much more life into a server, says Dusk. I think you're saying like you need someone who makes things happen, which I wouldn't say is me specifically, but I do often say like if you want to make your own SMP, to like be the example of what you want to see. So if people don't want to play endgame, you got to give them a reason to play endgame. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Did anyone reply? Dang. Well, I guess I'm probably going to have to go back through the portal for safety. Are you going to watch the Champions League, says Quellin? I might watch the final, depending on who's playing, whenever that happens, but if you mean just the general games that are on at the moment... Oh, Corrales is on it. Oh, dang. There it is. Sweet. Back up the mountain we go, then. Isn't it Inter Milan and Liverpool or something? There are times when I get, like, relatively interested in watching the football, and then other times not so much. Like, I remember a few seasons back, like, I was really interested in watching Liverpool, and I watched, like, a few good games of theirs, and then the one I made sure I was going to watch was the Barcelona one, where they were, like, was it 3 or 4-0 down? And, like, that was just, like, the best game of football to watch. I also caught that crazy game between Tottenham and Man City where there was like 4 goals in the opening 10 minutes and then it ended up being like 5-4 or something. It was I don't the thing with football is like you got to watch a lot of games to catch the good ones. There's a lot of mediocre games and then a few really cracking ones here and there, and of the few I've chosen to watch here and there, sometimes I think I might have a bit of luck about selecting what games I want to watch, perhaps. But I haven't really watched much since. Bayern versus Salzburg is the other game. Okay, I've never been too interested in the other European teams. I tend to just root for English teams. Again, that tribalism, right? Mantis Mastro, thank you for the Prime, and Biffa, thank you so much for subscribing. 31 months, sip of tea in your honour. Thank you, my dude. I got a cold remnants of a cup of tea here. There's a few sips left. I'm going to leave it alone. Gotta run, take care, says Biffa. Thanks for tuning in, my dude. Thank you again for fixing up the city. That was awesome to see. That was awesome. Vector says, what is your favourite movie? I need some inspiration on what to watch. I love Dead Poets Society, American History X. I love a lot of the stuff off of the International Movie Database, you know, like the top 10 movies on there. Oh, Captain, my Captain, says Gnome Chomsky too. Yes, you know it, you know it. That movie makes me tear up every time I watch it. Ethan Hawke is an actor who I'm really quite fond of. Yeah, I've seen quite a few of his that are decent. RB Menace, thank you ever so much for 3 months. Appreciate it. Yay, 3 months. Been watching Hermitcraft episodes non-stop when not working, sleeping. Loving the new season. Awesome. Glad you're enjoying it, my dude. Any new movies, says the first 86. You know, I've got my music blog. It helps me remember records and whatnot better. I often wonder if I should have like a movie journal, and then I would remember them so much better. Because I could talk about, you know, movies and whatnot. I just It's just part of the, in a weird way, like the drone of life. Like the stuff you really remember, the stuff that sticks deep is always like with other people and things that you did and places that you went. And then movies are like, they're powerful emotionally, they're entertaining, but then they kind of become like a blur. Elmo Einstein says, "What is your favourite game to play out of Minecraft? I can't find a good game to play." I don't really. I'm not a gamer. I don't particularly gravitate to games that much. If I do, you'll see me do it on stream or something. Like I'm a creative, so for me it's like making music will be the other thing that I like to do. The ultimate game. Are you into cult films? Depends what you mean by that. Like, I've definitely watched some movies that would probably go into the category of cult. I don't know, like maybe the Evil Dead movies? Or something like that. I used to love George Romero, Dawn of the Dead. All of that kind of stuff. Have you tried painting? I have not. Seesaw 4, it says your blog sent me down a memory favourite song rabbit hole of my own last week. It was so good. Awesome, dude. That's always cool. Have you seen Predestination with Ethan Hawke? I'm pretty sure I've seen that one, yeah. Okay, there we go. Another full inventory. I'll tell you what, we'll get another stack. Ches Charlie, thank you ever so much for 2 months. I want my derp emotes back. Alright, I'll give you one. One derp. Thank you so much for the 2 months, my dude. Appreciate it. Dang, I rarely do that. I don't know why. I was just like, oh, okay, I'll give you a derp. That's not like me. There's something up with me today if I'm doing that. Have you ever played Portal? Do you like story-driven video games? As I said, I'm not really a gamer, so, like, I don't really gravitate towards video games. But I like Portal. I've played Portal. I like puzzle games, if anything, so Portal's right up my street. Predestination broke my brain so hard, says Girls of Doom. I'm trying to remember it. It's just, oh, God, memory's so foggy, right? A movie journal might be a good practice. I tell you what, it'd be worth, like... See, the thing that holds me back is, like... When you start, like, I've probably seen, like, 1,000 movies or something. So, like, when you start, it's like, oh, now I want to write about all those other ones, right? But, like, really, you should think about it as a tool of, like, from now on, this will improve my memory or whatever. So I should do this thing. And... like, I don't have to catalogue every single movie I've ever watched, but if writing down helps me recall it and memorise it better, then that's a good thing. So maybe after the next one I watch, I'll make a few notes. But I know what it's going to feel like. I'm going to look at it and feel like it's not like the music blog. I thought about doing the music blog for ages before I actually did it, and now I can look at it and be like, well, I've been doing that for like 8 years, and there's no way I'm going to stop. It's like now I've got an actual like really great history book where I can go back and look over the years, and it just takes me back to places really vividly. Oh, I remember when I was listening to those records, or what I was doing when that came out, and went and saw that live. It just makes it so vivid. Checkered Zebra says, do you like old movies? Depends on what old is. So for me, 90s movies and noughties movies have a very nice tone, often a fair bit nostalgic because the kid in the 90s. 80s movies, like the better ones, are fantastic. Some of the lower budget stuff can be a bit hard to tolerate, and then as you go further back in time and the tone changes, it gets like harder and harder for me to get into it. Like many years ago I tried to like watch some of those really old movies, like is it Metropolis or something from like 1937, and it's just so difficult. Like there's a few that are kind of watchable that are from a long time ago, like 12 Angry Men is just absolutely fantastic. Have you watched Casablanca? Yes, I watched that in season 3 of Hermitcraft. Cleo recommended it to me, and I can't really remember much about it. I just remember I was like in the Nether building like a fortress farm watching it, and I don't know, it didn't work for me perhaps. But like movies have like a tone, a sort of pace, a cadence, a style that evolves over time, and so different eras of cinema get like a different feel and pace to it, and the further back in time you go, I find it just trickier to enjoy. Like, love 2001: A Space Odyssey, blew my mind as well. Can't wrap my brain around that they made that movie in 1968. I love that one too. That one was amazing. Right, peeps, I really need to nip to the loo. I will be... Right, I've got a button for this, haven't I? Where is it? There it is. Is it going to work? There we go. I'll be right back, peeps. Don't go anywhere. And I'm back. Missing my favourite part of the song. Oh gosh. I need to hydrate, peeps. You're going to listen to me drink some water. Guzzle it down. Cosmo Guy says, they've been having battles on Command & Conquer Yuri's Revenge with my sister. The nostalgia is real. There's a game I'd really like to revisit for a bit of nostalgia. Someone in chat as I left, I noticed they were saying that the movie I mentioned, Metropolis or whatever, is a silent movie from 1927. Now, like if someone were to sit you down and go, here's a silent movie from 1920 that you're going to watch for the next 2 hours or whatever, you're probably going to think, oh, this is going to be intolerable, right? Someone takes away your phone or whatever. Like, the media that we engage with is just so different and faster from back then, so it's kind of like hard for many of us exposed to like the newer form of media to enjoy the older stuff. I find interestingly this is a little different with music. There's a lot of music from decades gone by that really can hold up well in my mind, but maybe if you're really into cinema it can as well. Anyway, I was listening to a podcast earlier today where they were talking about, like, isn't it amazing, like, how much technology has advanced over, like, the last 20 years, and like, now you've got, like, your own little computer in your pocket with access to the internet, and, you know, in the early 90s, that would have been, like, a massive clunky white box on your desktop with, you know, a 56 kilobyte internet connection on a dial-up modem. God, some of you are like, who is this boomer? Who is this old guy? What's he on about? But here's the thing, like, I was half wondering, like... Okay, let's get enough to make that a stack. I was thinking, like, this is a conversation that you could possibly have at any point in time, right? So, like, I mean, imagine going back to, like, the, I don't know, 50s and 60s. When would the microwave become prevalent, right? Like, oh my god, isn't technology amazing? You don't have to cook stuff for hours anymore. Just pop it in the microwave. Unbelievable. What are they going to come up with next, you know? That kind of thing. Aha, I knew I had some more sandstone. Oh, and what's in here? Oh, I never filled that up. What a derp. I could have got way more terracotta. So, oh, late 60s, early 70s apparently was the microwave's time. Okay. You get my point, right? That outlook always makes me excited for the future, says Faithfair. Yeah, I'm super like pumped for the future. Although we're in rocky times. Like things get better with time. Things are innovated. You know, progression is its own things, but it's not a straight path. It's bumpy, and I feel like we're in a big bump. I remember on a stream the beginning of 2020, one of the first ones we did. I was like, you know what? I got a good feeling about this decade. This is gonna be great. You know, the 20s are gonna be amazing. And then, pandemic and war and it's been tough so far, hasn't it? But anyway, imagine going back to like different points in time, like I don't know when the cars first hit the road. Isn't this incredible? Everyone can have their own little portable. We don't have to get on the train anymore. Or the first trains, like you can go back in time to loads of different points and just because it's like it's more of an attitude thing. I think it's more about seeing what's going on and being optimistic about it, being excited about it. Because some people definitely are a bit more pessimistic about the future. It's like, you know, in 100 years, global warming and all of this is going to be, it's going to be over. It's going to be nowhere near as good as we've got it now. That's how some people think and feel. I don't know what'll be true or not, right? Joe Dragon, thank you ever so much for 23 months, saying hello. Hope all is well. I'm enjoying the start of a new season. I can tell it's going to be a lot of fun. Have fun doing all you do. Thank you, appreciate it, Joe. Yeah, this one is going to be a good season, no doubt about it. I'm really looking forward to doing some building. I almost thought of doing a creative build stream today, but I feel like I just need to find my groove a bit again before we start doing something like that. Currently, it's just really hard to find something to look forward to be honest, says Curls. Yeah, I was thinking about that yesterday. Like, I got a couple of things coming up, but none of them felt, I don't know, like events in the past or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's just, it's like the cloud is still there. Sure, you might have this thing or that thing booked, but like there's still this cloud over our heads, and we want it to go. Champions League time, says 47 M4D. I guess football is kicking off, right? I guess football is kicking off. At the old League of the Champions, is it? Is it a league or is it a knockout tournament? I don't know. Barbecues, look forward to that, says Lee Pepe. I'm not a big fan of barbecue. I'll tell you what I love. Barbecue sauce in a pizza is essential to me. I'm not sure I want to talk about food right now. I've been feeling a bit weird about food. Just like being depressed and like having just having food to look forward to. It just ain't right. Oh my god. That was pretty much me yesterday. I was like eating my food just thinking this is the only thing I'm looking forward to. It's like, oh god. Yeah, I'm trying to arrange seeing some friends this weekend though, so that'll pick me up. It always does. It always does. Just make coffee. I know it's the little things, says Little Spag Bowl. Yeah, let's talk coffee. I'm going to become a coffee drinker. I know it. I haven't drunk coffee for 2 days. Okay. And I'm going to go the week without. I've been drinking nothing but decaf. I am not feeling the cravings that I did for the mocha chocas that I used to drink. That was sugar craving. What I'm craving is like the aroma and the warmness in the belly and like just the whole little ritual of getting the French press out and cleaning it after. Like, it's just an enjoyable experience. And yeah, I think I'm just going to become a coffee drinker. Like, I'll probably stick to my 4 days a week thing for a while, but I'll definitely, if there's an opportunity to like have a cup on a day off, I'm not going to turn it down, I don't think. I'll really enjoy it. Now you understand me, X. Now you understand, says girls. I get it. I get it now. I get it. It's just... It's weird, because coffee I always drank... Oh, do you know what I should... Oh, I'll tell you what I can do. I can make some shears while I'm out here. I guess I just thought about coffee so differently because I experienced it differently. Like, I used to see it as being like very addictive, but again, that's like because the type of coffee that I drink was probably loaded with sugar and very like craveable. So yeah, I love coffee, but I can't handle the acid. I drink tea now. I've not had a problem with that. I'm quite fortunate. I don't have any problems with foods. There's a few nuts that I can't eat that I'm allergic to, and my reaction isn't too terrible. It used to be a fair bit worse actually when I was younger. As I've gotten older, my reaction to nuts that I can't eat are actually like not that bad. I think I've also figured out how to deal with it as well. But yeah, I sort of pretty much eat anything. Yeah, I'm pretty good with all food. I'm trying to think of anything that gives me an upset stomach, and there's like not one thing where it's like, oh, I eat that. Maybe seafood. Like seafood's been a little dodgy on occasion, but usually if I have an upset stomach, it's probably just because the food ain't been cooked right, you know. Or like you've gone out to a restaurant, and then you got a dodgy stomach the next day. You're like, yeah, that wasn't cooked right or whatever. Chat, some of your reactions are really strange. I can't eat red meat anymore. It makes me feel so heavy and bad afterwards, says Curls of Doom. That's interesting you say that. There's this, now that I think about it, there's this one restaurant that I ordered from, and it's like a classic English breakfast fry-up, you know, sausages, hash browns, eggs, black pudding, so all like dairy and meat type stuff. Like animal produce, yeah. Bacon rashers, baked beans. It always makes my stomach feel a little odd after. I wouldn't say it's particularly negative. It's not really uncomfortable. It just feels a bit different. Like I feel like I can tell that I've eaten something different in there, right? I don't know. Usually I tend to eat a lot of vegetables and whatnot, right? So it's quite different to go from that to something else. Oh yeah, let's see if someone can sleep. Otherwise we're going to have the same problem again. Wow, there's a lot of us on this evening. Sausages and hash browns are so good, says Carl Potato. Aren't they just? I'll tell you what I really like eating lately. Chips. Dang. I got it in my head that like carbs bad, don't eat potatoes kind of thing for ages, and then like slowly realised, nah, potatoes ain't bad. So I just sort of avoided eating something like chips. Never ordered chips, and then lately I've just had some chips from Nando's with that peri salt on top. Oh, so good, so good. Got to eat chips when they're hot. I went to London like probably last year sometime with my friends, and on the way home, I had a really long walk home, and there was this like fried chicken place that did chicken and chips, and I hadn't had fried chicken in probably a decade, and I got myself a little box of it in. Dang, it was tasty, but the chips were piping hot, straight out of the fryer, and they were just the most satisfying chips. I was like, dang, these are just perfect right here. This is perfection. I want to eat that again. I want to have those chips again. Green Turtwig, thank you for 47 months. It's the texture and combinations of food that make it difficult for me to eat some food. Yeah, some people, they have issues with texture, don't they? I'm, again, not quite fussy, but yeah, like, I don't know. Like, if it's food, I'll eat it. So texture doesn't tend to bother me too much. I tend to find myself, like, find the reasons to like what's different about something. So if you gave me some like exotic different food that maybe had a weird texture and tasted funny, I think my brain would like gear towards like figuring out what I would like about it as opposed to like not. I'd focus more on the positives. Smish, thank you ever so much for the Prime, and L2M Loyalty, thank you for a donation saying my car ran out of gas/petrol. I called my insurance and they totaled the car. Now, I feel like there's either a joke in there. Your car ran out of gas or petrol, you called the insurance. Is there a joke there? Or is that a thing that can happen? I don't get it, but what's chat gonna say about that one? Gotta love insurance. When you say they totaled it, when you total a car, here in the UK that's like you crashed it, it's done, it's been written off. Thank you for the donation, by the way, appreciate it, my dude. It's a price of gas joke. Oh, so it's like it's so expensive to get gas that they just write the car off. It's cheap, like it's cheaper to buy a new car than fill up your gas with petrol type thing. Fill up your tank with petrol. That's mad. Dash745, thank you for 6 months of support, my dude. Appreciate it. We got 3,200 peeps tuned in here. I'll be streaming again Thursday. That's my plan. I'm taking tomorrow evening off. There isn't going to be a snapshot. I need a zonk out. I need a movie. I need to just turn my brain off for a little bit. Pro tip, when you watch a movie, put your phone in the other room. Always good. Yovoke, thank you for subscribing with the Prime. Yeah, imagine that though. Like that's... Like you hear these horror stories of inflation in Germany after the First World War, of like people like carting their paychecks around in wheelbarrows and then like ditching the money and keeping the wheelbarrow because it's worth more or something. I don't know. I've heard all sorts of anecdotes. But like the idea that like buying a second-hand car that's like, or it would probably be like a third, fourth hand cheap old banger type thing, but it happens to have a full tank of petrol. You know, you just buy that to drive somewhere. Crazy. I paid £1.52 for a litre unleaded. Yeah, you see, because I don't drive a lot, and I've driven very little lately. I've been using my bike, and because I've been cycling my bike regularly, I can now take I could go to the shops 2 or 3 times a week on the bike and just get a few things and put them in the they're called panniers actually. Put them in the panniers at the back. So it's like, you know, rather than doing once a week shop with the car, I just do it with the bike, and the car hardly, you know, gets used. But I never really pay attention to the price of gas. Like, I just go fill it up, and like, that'll do. Because I don't use a lot of petrol. So I don't know. I don't have a point of relativeness to that because I haven't paid attention. I guess what I could do is just look it up on my my finance thing and just like historically look at every time I've paid for petrol, and maybe I'll get like a rough idea. I tend to fill it up when it's about half. Go from half to full. And that's not very often. But yeah, gas prices are going to be going up. It's crazy. Here's another thing though, right? Like, when I was younger, I didn't care about anything like what we're talking about gas prices or economics, right? And I often wonder, is it something of the times, or is it because I'm older that I pay more attention to like geopolitics and what's going on in the world? Like, I'm kind of wondering if like any young people watching are just like, I don't care what the gas price is. Because that's what I would have been like when I was a young'un. It actually affects you now, says Super Kiko. Well, the gas price don't really affect me that much. As I said, I don't really drive my car a lot at all. A lot of people in chat think it's age. Yeah, it probably is. Like, if young people, like, if someone young says, oh, you know, I don't care about what's going on in the world today, like, it reminds me of that in myself. But I'm not seeing that attitude because I'm not that age, right? Like because everything's relative. So like, let's say, you know, I'm 18 again or whatever. I'm probably not going to be talking about the sort of stuff I talk about. I'd probably be, you know, on TikTok or whatever, not giving a damn about all the political stuff. And then you would be exposed to all the culture and all the things that are adjacent to that, you know, way of thinking and feeling and what's going on in that space. This is why, like, I always talk about when people say, "Oh my God, you haven't seen this thing or that thing." It's like everyone's like, like there's like spheres of influence in culture, and everything's like relative to your position to it. If you were to just go move to like the other side of the planet, then all the things you would naturally be exposed from the people around you, what's on the television they have there, like it all changes. It's all relative. So I like to think about it in that way. Like, why do I care about this stuff now? Well, it's because I'm older. It's because I'm exposed to these different types of medias and whatnot. No one's got like a flat perspective on everything. There's no neutral perspective. Carl's Doom, thank you for the donation, saying probably you already have a movie to watch, but if not, I'd recommend Pixar's Soul. It's a heartwarming, thought-provoking love letter to music and finding one's purpose in life. Goes for £10 on Amazon currently, so consider it sponsored. Isn't that a Disney movie? I've got Disney Plus. I'll write it down. I'll write it down. I want a reason to use Disney Plus a bit more. Thank you, Curls. Appreciate that ever so much. That's actually already on my watch list as well, now that I think about it. I can't remember why, but yeah, I mean, it's on like a mental watch list that I just forgotten about. I did want to see that one. I heard some good things about it. So yeah, I might just watch that. I'll see what else is on the list, but yeah, I'll definitely get around to it. Have you watched any of the Marvel movies? Says Messy Acorn. I've seen 3 Marvel things and I didn't enjoy them that much. And like I also really dislike the franchising and what Marvel's doing to cinema. There's just less classic style of cinema. I mean, everything moves on, so like classic is, you know, classic, but like there's so much less non-franchise stuff now that becomes big and, you know, on at the cinema. Everything just seems to, anything with a budget is just part of a franchise now. And I miss just, you know, odd quirky movies popping up that weren't about having a sequel, and they weren't about, like, you know, superheroes flying around in the sky fighting with magic. It would just be like, I don't know, some quirky story about some people in some town or whatever. There's so much less of that. It's really unfortunate. Yes, it's me, Megan says, I love Marvel, but I totally get that. Yeah, it's like, I'm not knocking what the movies are and if anyone enjoys them. It's just like, it's having an effect. Was it Scorsese or whoever was talking about it, just saying like they couldn't get funding for that 4-hour movie that he made, absolutely epic one. It went straight to Netflix, and that's just a sign that the times have changed, right? Right, I think I'm going to make this our last run for terracotta. Probably got more than what I need to sell, or can put in that chest, I guess. The Irish, that's the one, yeah. I think that might be the name of it, or something with Irish in, right? What's your favourite movie or series? TV show, a really good one, The Wire. That's fantastic. Man, I got absolute goosebumps the first time I watched that. Because the language in it, the location, the characters, what they were talking about, I was just like, this is hip-hop. This is like, I was seeing everything I'd heard about in hip-hop records just like come to life on the screen in that first series. Like, it was like, I had a mental image of it, and then all of a sudden it was just like there in the show The Wire. Have you watched Succession? Succession is really fantastic. It's a bit like watching a car crash. Like, you don't really like any of the characters, but you sort of always want to know what happens to them next. Like, even the most likable character, what's his name? Greg, the really big, tall, lanky guy. Hagaki, thank you for 4 months. Appreciate it. Like, you like him, but then like he turns out to be pretty spineless and shallow, it seems. And most of the characters are like that. Like, they've just got like bad personality traits that come to the forefront. But the whole thing is like incredible to watch. Did the season just start, says Rexton. The last season that aired was not too long ago, so I don't think a new season has aired. The last season of The Last Kingdom starts tomorrow. And there's also a new season of Picard, which I will probably watch, you know, praying that it's like the next generation, but it won't be. Snow Yelliot, thank you so much for subscribing. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Krebstar says there's a new show on Apple TV called Severance that I find really interesting. A bit sci-fi, a bit thriller mystery. Not sure how to best describe its plot. You know, Apple TV is an interesting one because very little has come across my path. Like, you know how it is, you watch YouTube videos or a podcast, or you watch a live stream where some idiot just keeps waffling about movies and shows that they've watched over and over again. Like, stuff comes across your path, right? And you're like, oh, that sounds good. They like that. Oh, I'll check that out. And like, pretty much nothing has come across that's on Apple TV. And on the occasion that I've looked at stuff on Apple TV, I'm like, I haven't heard of any of this stuff anywhere. Like, so I haven't signed up for it or even got anything on there to like on a list to watch. Quite odd. I'm sure there's good stuff on it. I'm not saying there isn't. Just it's kind of weird. I think Breaking Bad has a second surge of viewership with a new generation becoming old enough to watch and enjoy it, says Wordy. Yeah, there are things that go around in cycles like that. You're making me think there's something like that I've seen recently, but it's just not coming to mind. I'm not aware of that for that show, but that show is definitely like an amazing one that if you've never seen it, like, dang. I mean, of all the shows out there where it's like I want to watch it again, it's like most of the time it's like The Wire and Breaking Bad for me, and it would be Game of Thrones if it weren't for that ending. Ugh. One quote I love by Martin Luther King. He said, "We are not makers of history, but we are made by history." That's a very interesting quote. That's the sort of quote I could ponder on for a fair bit. Better Call Saul says no. Yeah, last season of that comes out this year. Don't forget Ender Chest. I've got it on me. Oh, you made me panic. Breaking Bad wasn't compelling to me, says 99 Red Dragons. That's perfectly fine, but like, always go into stuff, like, try and be enthusiastic and see what other people see in it. Like, holding on to, like, some, everyone else likes this, I'm not going to watch it type attitude. I'm not suggesting that's your attitude, but I just always say, like, look, try and find the things that you would like, because it's kind of easy for the brain to, like, be like, oh, I don't like this thing, I don't like that thing. And then you might miss out on, like, what's good about it. Right, there we go. Terracotta restocked, and now sand and sandstone. So I think we're going to replace that sign and maybe put like a couple here that you like come in and read. Remember the 24 series hype, says Scotimus? Yes, I remember 24. I didn't. I've never watched any of that show. I must have just seen a bit of it and just gone, nah. Again, that was when I was young and I didn't have an attitude of like, oh, this thing is in front of me, let's find reasons to enjoy it. Like, but yeah, there's loads of shows that come and go, and some of them just feel a bit dated and not worth your time. Like Lost is another one that like sort of been tempted to check out on occasion, but like, eh. Chernobyl is probably my favourite miniseries. So good, says Befuddled. That was an amazing one, yeah. That was a really good one. Right, so let's go ahead and... I feel like putting them down here, it's not like the first thing you're going to look at. Maybe what we'll do is we'll keep it where it is. Put this one to the side. So 2 stacks for 1 diamond. I could also sell those dead bushes, but I don't know. So terracotta, 2 stacks for 1 diamond. Then down here we'll do like 3 and 2, I think. So then we go sand. 3 stacks. 1 diamond. Sand, stone. Can't spell it right. 2 stacks. That looks kind of terrible, doesn't it? I think it's readable, just about. Or maybe I just get another sign somewhere. Terracotta, 2 stacks for 1 diamond. Sand. Stand. Sand. 3 stacks. For 1 diamond. Sand. Stone. 2 stacks for 1 diamond. I think I didn't put an S on the last one, right? Yeah. 3 stack for 1 diamond. I'm sure it won't make too much of a difference. There we go. We might wrangle in some more diamonds that way. Chat is now pointing out my mistakes. Thanks, chat. I'm very aware of my mistakes. I'm just going to leave it there because I'm lazy. Did I leave anything in the ender chest? Nope. That's good. Put the shovel away now. Which has mending on it, thank goodness. Ooh, is it time for dragons, says Valdemir. I know that there's some dragon fighting going on right now. Or was. Actually, that's the fortress, isn't it? And everyone just got it all at the same time. Follow an Eye of Ender. Huh. I thought they were fighting it earlier with all those deaths. Well, anyway, my friends. I'm going to wrap up my live stream right here. It's a little bit earlier, but I've not got much else to do. Just wanted to stock up, get some materials for building and all that kind of stuff, and get an ender chest sorted out, which is a big deal. So, going to wrap my stream up right here and look for somewhere else or someone else to send you to. Let's send you over to Music Man today. Feels like it's been a while. So, over there you go. Right. Massive thank you to everyone who subscribed, resubscribed, donated and cheered. As always, I appreciate your support. Thank you to all my patrons, all my mods, and all the people gifting subs. Y'all are appreciated. And I'll see you again on Thursday. So hit that follow button, then hit the raid button, and I'll see you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.